Stellantis unveiling a $13 billion investment in U.S. manufacturing right here in this country. Phil LeBeau joins us with a very special guest to discuss this big news. Phil.
So I want to react to this interview done by Stellantis' new CEO, Antonio Filoso, because he talked about this $13 billion investment that Stellantis is going to do into the U.S. market. And I want you guys to kind of pay attention to what he says, and I'm going to kind of break it down as the video goes along, because he does not mention really anything about Dodge and really mention really anything about the Hemi V8 engine, other than the fact that it basically saved their bacon in the last couple months. So this interview right here is very important and why I think there's going to be no Dodge in the future and no Hemi in the future as soon as Trump gets out of office. So we're going to watch this interview together, and I'm going to break it down for you guys, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Thank you very much, Antonio Filoso. We're at the end of the line here in Toledo for the Wrangler Rubicon coming off. Let's talk about the $13 billion investment. 5,000 new jobs, 5 new products, increasing your production by 50% in the United States. How urgent is the need to kickstart sales here in the U.S.?
Okay, well, we're 52,000 friends, and the 56% of you guys who watch my videos over and over and over again and haven't hit the subscribe button yet, this interview right here kind of underscores my point from yesterday that I made in my previous video, that this brand new $13 billion investment to the US market is really the death knell for Dodge and Hemi V8 engine, because you didn't see really any word or any notification or any indication that Dodge was really going to be getting really anything that we already know they was already getting with the new Durango get pushed to 2029. And there's no indication that the Hemi V8 was going to be moved to America or a new generation of Hemi V8 was going to actually be made. The only engine that was talked about was a Inline 4 engine that we already knew for like the past year or two was already going to get into production starting this year. It's going to pretty much be, I'm pretty sure it's still going to be the only engine in the Grand Cherokee for the time being when they actually go and do the whole refresh, I think sometime like next year and stuff. But this interview right here just goes to underscore that you're not going to really hear him talking about the Hemi V8 engine or anything with the Hemi and stuff, or be non-committal about what engines are going in what vehicle and stuff, right? Because you would think you announced $13 billion. The one engine that kind of saved your bacon in the last few months with this 10,000 orders in 24 hours for the Ram, which he does mention in his actual interview and stuff, you would think the Hemi will get some love, but it gets zero love in here, except for just mention the fact that they announced the Hemi and Ram, and that's it. They ain't say nothing about Dodge getting Hemi and stuff. Nothing but Dodge really getting any new models other than the Durango that's been sitting in the wings for the past few months and stuff, and not doing anything for the Durango. So I'll go ahead and play this interview and stuff, and I'll stop you guys when I get to a point that we got to talk about something.
Oh, very well, and thank you, Phil, for joining us in this beautiful plant, our plant in Toledo, Ohio. Well, you said it all. We are very excited today. It's a great day for us because we are announcing the largest single investment in our more than 100-year history company. We are investing in the United States $13 billion in all our U.S. plants.
Time out. Like, I can't do this whole, waving the pom-poms because they want to spend only $13 billion in the U.S., right? $13 billion ain't nothing to go spend in U.S. operations, right? Because I seem to remember when President Biden came into office in 2021, by the summertime, all these big 3 manufacturing stuff, they was more than willing to pledge double-digit billion dollars for electric vehicles and stuff to shove this crap down our throats. But now when it's time to go and build literally everything, it don't matter if it's electric vehicles, it don't matter if it's hybrids, it don't matter if it's gas vehicles, whatever you want to build, now all of a sudden, they don't have no money to go build the stuff with, right? So let me show you guys right here. 2021 EV Day by Stellantis, they pledged 30 billion euros, which is pretty much around like $35 billion in American money. They pledged about $35 billion through 2025 on EV efforts. 35 billion. Let me see, Ford, okay. Let's see, Ford right here raises planned electrification spending to $30+ billion by 2025, including development of ion boost batteries. So this right here is back in 2021. See your date right there, May 26, 2021. They all around the same time period, pledged over $30 billion. Let me go to General Motors. Same thing with General Motors and stuff. Right there, June 2021, GM will boost EV and AV investments to $35 billion through 2025. These three big automakers stuff, they got over $30 billion to go push EVs and build plants out of the country and stuff. But when it comes time to honoring the country that all you guys have home bases in, that America is your biggest market and stuff, you ain't got no money now. So let me go over here to GM, right? GM plans to invest only $4 billion in U.S. manufacturing plants. Only $4 billion. They had $30+ billion when Biden asked you guys to build EVs outside the country and stuff. But now all of a sudden, y'all only got $4 billion. Let me see. What is this crap by freaking Ford? Here we go. Ford. For a $5 billion bet on America. They can only bet $5 billion on America, but they can bet over $30 billion to move manufacturing out of the country and stuff. So I'm just saying. Oh, well, I'll make a video about this later. And then you have basically, like I said, Stellantis and crap, them investing only $13 billion. So like I was saying, this announcement right here don't really mean nothing to me, and it's nothing to just like, I mean, you can miss me with this nonsense, right? So I don't subscribe to this whole, oh my God, we're investing in Americans. No, you're not. You just throwing a little bit of money together. That way you're gonna just say that you're for Americans, but you're really not. So I'm just saying. Back to the rest of the interview.
In our 4 iconic American brands, Jeep, Ram, Dodge, and Chrysler, we are delivering to the market 5 all-new products, 1 all-new engine, 19 additional product action. We are renewing all our lineup, and this is because we want to grow here in US.
Time out. So this part of the interview is good and bad at the same time, because if you listen to what he says they have 19 additional product actions over the next 4 years and stuff, right? But if you guys remember earlier this year, it was widely reported that Ram had 25 product actions themselves over the next 2 years, right? So in the next 2 years, Ram had 25 product actions just for themselves. We already know one of them was a Hemi coming back. We already know the one of them is the 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty. We already know another one was a Ram street truck. We already know the next one's going to be the TRX coming back. And I guess the other product announcement was the actual midsize Ram truck is going to Toledo. So you got 5 right there already. So Ram should have about 20 more product actions left. And Antonio Velosa saying there's 19 more. So we still got about a good 40 more product actions going to happen over the next 4 years. And within 2 years, we should get 20. So that's one good thing, that we're going to get a lot of announcements about stuff. But the bad news about that is he's saying that there's only going to be 5 new vehicles in the next 4 years. So if you was excited about seeing something from Dodge is going to be kind of like SOL, right? Because look at it like this, right? We've already covered in my other video that 2 of the announcements is for Jeep. The Grand, not the Grand, but the regular Cherokee and the Compass. Those are 2 of the new 5 vehicles, right? Ram gonna get the mid-size truck. That's 3. That's one of the next 4 years. And the 4th one is a full-size SUV. And more than likely it's gonna be for Ram, because when Ram canceled the Ram Rev, that all-electric Ram truck, they put the Ram Rev name on the Ram Charger, the hybrid version, and took the Ram Charger name off of that vehicle. So I think that Ram Charger name is something that I said a few months ago and stuff. I think the Ram Charger name is gonna be placed on this full-size SUV, and Ram's gonna get an SUV back again, which makes a lot of sense since Warren Truck basically used to make Ram full-size trucks, and they made the Wagoneer now, so you might as well go back to making a Ram full-size SUV and stuff, right? So basically you got 4 out of 5 vehicles belonging to either Jeep or Ram. So there's only 1 vehicle for Chrysler or Dodge. That's it. So who is going to get the brand new car? The last car will come out in the next 4 years, because me and TK, we talked about 3 cars that Dodge was going to be working on. And we know that Chrysler is working on a few things. We know Chrysler is working on a sedan and a crossover. So basically you got 5 vehicles competing for 1 spot. You got the Duster, that $30,000 sports car. You got the Viper, which we were told they had clay models working on at roadkill nights and stuff. You have the Cuda and stuff that me and TK heard from people saying that they spotted like a smaller Charger running around, CTC and stuff. And then you have potentially 1 or 2 vehicles from Chrysler, which I think they make like a car, like a 300 based off of the Charger. That's pretty close to production and stuff. And then whatever this crossover is going to be Hopefully it's something based on the airflow, which I don't know why they still canceled it. But someone's going to be SOL within the next 4 years. Will it be Dodge or will it be Chrysler? I'm hoping to cross my fingers that Dodge is going to get a car, especially now seeing that Belvedere is going to basically have like a Stella medium platform, which is going to be good news for Dodge because they can go build a mid-size car, which could be like a Viper or a Duster over there at Belvedere, and Belvedere can build 2 Jeep products and a Dodge product. So I'm hoping Dodge get this spot, but you can kind of see how Jeep gets 2 more, Ram gets basically 2 more vehicles, and basically Dodge and Chrysler are left fending for themselves. But let's get back to the interview.
We decided day one was to make US our #1 priority because this is the largest market where we operate and where we see growth.
But you know, and you hear this from Jeep dealers, you were in charge of Jeep before taking over the company overall. Number one thing I hear from dealers is they starved us of products. We didn't have enough new models. They kept the prices high. We need new vision here. Have you heard that back? Have you heard the frustration from your dealers?
And I understand very well that we listen to our dealers and we listen to our customer every day, and we learn a lot from them. So now it's time to restart. That's why we are investing those money. We will deliver to our network 5 all new products. We already started, right? We grew last quarter by 6% in this market. We already presented our return of the legendary Hemi V8 engine. Guess what? Day one of announcement, 10,000 orders collected. This is a record for us. We announced the Dodge with an internal combustion engine, and we are growing our lineup for the future.
Let's be clear.
Let's be clear. You notice how he won't say anything about Dodge getting a Hemi V8 engine, only that they announced Dodge is going to have an ICE engine in the Charger, basically, right? And then the whole Ram thing with them getting the Hemi V8 engine and stuff, to get them 10,000 orders. That's really the only time this entire interview, the entire time he mentioned the Hemi V8 engine at all, period. So I'm hoping that my dear friend Tim Kuniskis drops the hammer sometime soon and tells us about all the stuff, all the Hemi performance stuff that is going to be coming to literally all the brands and stuff. Because listening to Antonio Filoso is not giving me a lot of confidence, and I'm of the mindset that basically what they're going to do is they're going to basically invest as little amount of money as possible, run a clock out until Trump gets out of office and stuff, and go back to the same nonsense of pushing jobs right back out of the country and stuff. Because they had $30-some billion to go invest, to go push EVs outside the country and stuff, but now all of a sudden they only got $13 billion to invest in US plants. Interesting. So I'm just saying. So I'm just hoping my friend Tim Kuniskis drops the hammer, let us know that Dodge is safe, that Dodge get Hemis and stuff, and that the Hemi is going to live on, or not even just a Hemi. Just say a V8 is going to be in the works, in development, or something in the background. That's all somebody got to tell us. Tell us that a V8 is going to be in the future of Stellantis and stuff. We recognize that without the V8, our customers rebelled and stuff, and then we're going to work on something, and you can be very excited when we're done with this subject. I want to hear an announcement like that, but I'm just saying. Back to the interview.
This announcement is only for the U.S. You still build in Mexico, you build in Canada, but you're not shutting down plants there. You're not shutting down production there, correct?
No, actually, this is all about U.S. And what we want to do with this money in U.S. in the next 4 years is to increase our U.S. production by 50% in all our plants. And we estimate that that will generate for us 5,000 additional new jobs. We estimate that will generate for our suppliers about 20,000 additional jobs. So it's all about US.
So I just want to point out that you notice that he was non-committal about closing plants in other countries and stuff, which I don't think Stellantis is going to do. I know TK is kind of the mindset that they're probably going to sell Brampton off, but I don't think they're going to do that, right? I think exactly what they're going to do is they're basically going to wait till Trump got out of office and stuff. They probably got some agreement with Canada. They probably like drop the taxes, whatever nonsense. Keep basically Brampton on the back burner and stuff. When Trump got in office, open Brampton back up and stuff, go make vehicles in there and flood the U.S. market full of Canadian vehicles yet again. I'm calling it right now. That's what things gonna happen. Because another thing you also notice is too that you don't see anything but a Hemi V8 being moved to America, right? He had up there on the screen all these investments and stuff, and all this stuff's gonna happen in the U.S. and stuff, but not a single mention of the Hemi V8 going to America and stuff, right? Because me and TK reported earlier this year, the Hemi V8 is not moving to America. Hemi V8 is staying in Mexico because, to me, honestly, I think it's only going to be temporary. As soon as Trump got office, the Hemi V8 is gone. We're going back to Hurricanes and EVs and hybrids and stuff. The only thing they're going to do now is just add more hybrids to the mix to kind of make people, kind of feel good. They still got like a gasoline engine in their car stuff, but it won't be a Hemi in the future because they're going to get rid of Pentastar in a couple of years anyway, which is why they're trying to bring out that GME T4 nonsense, right? But you would think that if Antonio Filosa is telling you guys that they're going to increase U.S. production by 50%, where is these Hemi engines going to come from, right? You're going to basically be subject to tariffs for the next 4 years from Mexico and stuff. So that basically means that, the cost of Hemi powered vehicles is going to be higher than if they were to invest and put their engine here in the United States and stuff. So I'm just saying, this is basically to me a sign that basically Dodge, basically as a car company, gonna be done. They might make SUVs and Hornets and stuff like that and stuff, but the Charger may be the only car they actually come out with and stuff. And I think Dodge is dead. I mean, I hate to say that because I really like Matt McAleer and stuff. And it's kind of like he's like in the same boat as Christine Fuel with Chrysler and stuff. They're basically overseeing dying brands with no real investment because the only people getting love is Jeep and Ram. So, which I knew from talking to people when Stellantis got merged in the first place that they didn't even want Chrysler and Dodge in the first place. All they wanted was basically Jeep and Ram. And you can kind of see that through the investments and stuff, right? So I'm just saying, I think by 2029, no more Hemi, and Dodge is going to basically be a shell of its former self, and Chrysler is still going to probably be like a minivan and SUV company. So I'm just saying, roll the next part of the clip.
When you've briefed the Trump administration about this, you and other executives at the company, what have you heard back from them?
Well, obviously it's good news, right? And we share with President Trump his goal to have, again, manufacturing system in automotive very strong in US. I mean, we are generating new jobs in US, which is exactly the goal that President Trump is putting in the system. So we share this goal. Most importantly, since day one that I took the job, that has been less than 4 months ago as CEO of this fantastic company, of these fantastic people, we understood that to grow in this market, it is very important for us because it's the largest market where we operate.
One last question. It's important also to bring down your prices. You know the knock on Jeep and Ram and your other products. You've stayed elevated in your pricing. Are you going to be able to bring down prices?
We did already for all of our products. They are now at the level of competition and some even better. And all the new launches where we will be very competitive with them, for sure.
Antonio Filosa, CEO of Stellantis. We're here in Toledo, guys. This is where they build the Wrangler, and they will build a new midsize truck in this plant as part of the $13 billion investment. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
So you seen that and you heard it, right? The pricing thing, I'm like, come on, guys. You got to be kidding me, right? And then you guys just announced like $100,000 street truck for Ram, and you think that's competitive? Ford makes a Lobo that's like 60-something grand, right? I mean, are you kidding me? Is y'all making prices that are competitive or below the competition? Really, the only brand that did that was Dodge when they had to drop the price of a 16 to 17-year-old SUV down because the thing is one of the oldest vehicles in the segment and stuff. I mean, are you kidding? And then the Charger, you were literally forced to drop the price on the Charger down because no one is buying it, right? You heard on there where he talked about how Ram had the record 10,000 sales in 24 hours and stuff. And he told you that, hey, we announced, the Charger is getting, a nice engine and stuff. No mention of any record number of sales or orders for an inline 6 Hurricane Charger because no one wants to buy it. I mean, I just don't get the whole thing. If you don't have a Hemi in there, you're not going to be successful. I mean, that just point blank in the story and stuff. So this right here is bad news to me that, like I said, without any kind of commitment to the Hemi and stuff, no mention of Hemi going to any of the brands and stuff, I think Stellantis is done. If you see that little stock ticker that was on the side of the corner, the stock barely went up with this announcement stuff. No one is convinced about this crap, right? And they want you to try to go through all the little influence and stuff to try to ring the little pom-poms that this was a great thing to happen and stuff. But this is not the win that you think it is. I guarantee you within 4 years, once 2029 rolls around and stuff, the Hemi is going to be phased out yet again and stuff. And a lot of these jobs probably going to get pushed right back out of the country again once Trump get out of office and stuff. But that's just me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Do you guys think this $13 billion is as good as you think it really is? Or is it that this is basically just kicking a can down the road until Trump gets out of office, probably doing this crap to appease him to make sure they don't get extra tariffs put on their vehicles and stuff. And they're going to be going back to business as usual, making hybrids and EVs, and then gasoline last. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Do you guys think Dodge is done? Do you think the Hemi is done? And if you want to check out my breakdown that I did the other day, where I broke down the actual press release that they actually did, you can check out this video right here. And until the next time, man, I'm out.